I ain't got no more pickle juice. It looks like Indiana is on a little run. Field goals tonight. Indiana's on a run. They got to win to make it tied up 3-3. They ain't up by that much. But you know the last time that's what happened. Indiana went up by a lot, and then OKC came back, and Indiana finally folded at the end of the game as far as their defense goes. Foul. Right now, Indiana is up 24-17. But I got other things I want to show too, because we got to keep it going. Because y'all know that everybody talking about Donald Trump and Iran. Is he going to take out them nukes? Is he going to take them out? How close is Iran really to completing that nuke program they've been working on since before I was born? You know, they've been screaming death to America forever. Not the people, but the high level in government be saying death to America. You know, so we got to figure out, should Trump go on and take out that nuclear facility? But if he do that, it's going to be a war. You know, it's going to be Iran going to retaliate. So we got to keep that in mind. Indiana has the ball. But the thing is, I'm trying to figure out is that they've been screaming death to America. For me, I know they've been doing that since I was 20 years old. Death to America, not the people, but the government. You know what I'm saying? And we know that they have been building nuclear weapons way since I was 19, 20 years old. For a very long time, they have been working on nuclear weapons. And from what I just found out, they've been working on nuclear weapons since the mid-70s, since Jimmy Carter was president. They've been screaming death to America and making these nuclear weapons. But the thing that we don't want to happen is another 9/11, right? Because Osama bin Laden had been doing a lot of things, right? Before he actually got the capabilities to do what he wanted to do, which we know now as run, you know, the 9/11 situation. See, I gotta watch what I say, bro. But that 9/11 situation could have been avoided. You know, if they would have went on and did what they needed to do with Osama bin Laden way back at Talabora. And see, the thing that I'm thinking about now is that, okay, little bro, which is Israel, you know, if a lot of people don't know, like especially if you're younger, Israel is like the USA's little brother, right? Whenever USA needed Israel, Israel is always there. Per 9/11. Whenever 9/11 happened, which was devastating, right? When those planes hit the towers, was really, really bad, bro. You had people jumping out of the windows, you could see them falling down and land. Man, just think about that. When those planes hit those towers, you had people actually jumping out of those high-story buildings down there on my block, which is Wall Street. You had people jumping out of those buildings, bro. So, and we had warning after warning after warning after warning about that. And nobody did nothing to Osama bin Laden. So, what we don't want is another 9/11 to happen, right? Because just like, see, Iran is the originator, bro. Iran is the number one. Death to America. They the number one, right? So the thing is, we waited on Osama bin Laden, bro, for so long. Osama bin Laden had been saying that as well. He had been expressed his thoughts about not just America the system, but American civilians like us. See, what we got to understand is that those guys over there, they're not just screaming hate for the American politicians, but they will take me and you out, or one of our kids, if they got the chance to, guys. That's why those planes hit the towers, right? We had plenty opportunities to do what? Take action on Osama bin Laden, and they didn't do it. And the thing is this, Iran is Afghanistan's and Osama bin Laden's big brother, right? Iran is the big brother. Iran this whole time been working on those nukes. I'm trying to watch what I say. They've been working those nukes since I can remember. See, I ain't just started like getting educated about this. I've been following this stuff since I was 19, 20 years old. I'm 50 now. So the Iran situation, you know, we got to figure out what we're going to do, because at any given second, they can complete that program, right? And that's one thing we don't want. We don't want another 9/11 to happen, guys. We don't, bro. Because one thing about them people, if they say they're going to do it, it might be 10, it might be 15, it might be 30, 50 years from now. That's what they wake up every day to accomplish. See, a lot of us in America don't understand their state of mind. And they do it from kids to grandkids to great-grandkids to great-great-great-grandkids. That's how they work. That's why we got to figure out what we're going to do. On the flip side of that, America can't afford, right? Because one thing I was always taught, you don't want to go to war broke. America is broke, guys. So it's a big decision to make right now. I mean, a hell of a decision. So it's a lot going on. And the decision is, because the number one rule of the art of war is you don't want to go to war broke, bro. You don't. And America is living paycheck to paycheck. Can't afford to do that. Can't afford it. But Iran has been screaming death to America since before I was 19. They've been working on these weapons to do what? Take out America and take out Israel. Right? And guess what, guys? If they get a nuke, we got to think about this for a second. They've been screaming death to America forever. Not the people. This is very important what I'm about to say. Not the citizens, but the government, the presidents of Iran. They have been screaming death to America ever since I was a teenager, bro. Very, very long time. So they've had 30 years, longer than 30 years. Because I heard some older people say that they've been saying that since the early 70s. So they've had 40 years to get this underground facility. It's underground. It's a facility. It's underground in Iran, and they build they nukes. If you don't know what a nuke is, look it up. And they have been working on this underground private secret nuke since the 70s. 40 years. Listen to the OG. They've been working on it for 40 years. Now the word is that they this close from completing the program. Now, we don't know the capabilities of this nuke. We don't know the capabilities of it, guys. We don't know if it can reach America. Keep in mind, America has no Iron Dome. We don't have no Iron Dome, guys. We don't understand what it's like to get bombed, bro. We don't know nothing about that. But the thing is, those people overseas, they've been working on this for 40 years. And with the advancement of cryptocurrency, guess what, guys? They are wealthy. Listen to the OG. They got mass amounts of wealth because why? They've been investing in crypto. We got to think about that for a second. That's why they don't listen to America no more, bro. That's why America word is not as powerful what it used to be. Trump say, we need to make a deal. They don't want to make no deal, bro. They don't. But America is broke. It's like trying to fight against your op, but you ain't got no money. Your group of people who y'all trying to go with to get, the things that y'all need to do what y'all need to do, y'all ain't got no money to do it. America is living paycheck to paycheck, bro. America is living less than paycheck to paycheck. So in other words, you got to be prepared, bro. And on the foundation, America ain't prepared. They not. So it is a strategic move, a decision that has to be made right now. Because guess what? All the intelligence is saying that nuclear plant, that weapon is this close to being finished. They don't know if it's 2 weeks away, a month away, but they just about done with that nuke program, bro. That they've been working on for 40 years. And one thing we don't want, because if they strike America for real on American soil like 9/11, it's going to be 10 times worse. It's going to be 10 times worse. Why? Because they're actually working. They've been building nuclear bombs, bro, for 40 years. And in the past 15, the whole time America been arguing with each other, you haven't been hearing nothing about Iran. They've been quiet. They've been plotting, planning, and strategizing. While America is over here arguing, Iran and them over there, they've been doing what? They've been earning, they've been spending less, and they've been making investments, particularly in Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is over 100,000 right now. Think about how much money they got, bro. I'm not talking about the civilians. I'm talking about the guys that is leading Iranian government. The guy, Halabah, the old man, he's 86 years old. Yeah, he's old. Just think about they hatred for America. Not just for the system, because some people might be like, stock sniper, that ain't got nothing to do with us. That's only for, the powers that be. No. Listen to the OG. They will come for you and I. I'm not trying to scare nobody, but it is what it is. They will come for you and I. How do you know that, stock sniper? They already did it at 9/11, bro. So you think that Iran didn't have nothing to do, didn't help finance Osama bin Laden on those airplanes? You think that there was no Iranians on that plane when they hit my block, which is Wall Street? When they ran into them Twin Towers, you think that not one of those guys, the suicide bombers, was on that plane? That was financed and supported by the high-level leaders of Iran? Better think again. Iran and Osama bin Laden was like this. Iran, the big bro. Osama bin Laden in Afghanistan is the little bro. They both have the same common goal, which is what? Death to America. Death to our kids, our grandkids, our great-grandkids. It is not no exaggeration. See, a lot of people was born in the late 90s, early 2000s, don't really understand what I'm talking about. But when they hit those Twin Towers, guys, guess who lost their lives? Regular people like you and I. Regular people like you and I. All those people that was in downtown New York, when Osama bin Laden in Iran sent those planes over there, bro, they was not only trying to take out the financial system of America, they was trying to take out the people, and not just those two buildings got hit. They hit the Capitol. They had one plane going, I'm finna go in. They had one plane going for that White House, right? But the brave people that was on that plane, bro, guess what they did? Because on those airplanes, this is what happened. The suicide guys that took over the plane to drive it into the building, they took over the plane, right? They were taking over all these planes. And they had targets. They had Wall Street, they had the Capitol, they had the Pentagon, the Pentagon, and they also had the White House. They had 4 or 5 different targets. The Pentagon is our military. The Capitol is where all the lawmakers are at. In other words, all our branches of government, bro. They were attacking the grit and soul of America. Listen to the OG. They were attacking the grit and soul of America. And if it wasn't for those brave people on the plane, back to what I was saying. Okay, they had already hit Wall Street. They hit the Pentagon. Okay, they had another airplane that was going for the White House. Guess what happened? Those brave citizens like you and I, any one of us could have been on that plane. The brave citizens like you and I were on the plane when the plane got taken over. What kept that plane from hitting that White House was those brave citizens that was on the plane. They went and fought the terrorists. They went and fought the terrorists and took over the plane, knowing that what was going to happen, they knew they wasn't going to live, bro. Just imagine all them people that was on that plane. They knew that they wasn't going to die. But instead of them just being scared and letting them hit the White House, once they realized what was going on, they all bum rushed the cockpit of the plane and took over the plane, fighting the terrorists on the plane, and the terrorists lost control, and the plane didn't end up going to the White House. It ended up landing, and it ended up crashing in the middle of nowhere. So, I say that to say this. Just think, if when Osama bin Laden was making all those videos screaming death to America, if they had went on and took him out when they had the chance, maybe they would have saved thousands of lives of civilians, thousands of families. But now, another chance, bro. Lil bro, which is Israel. Israel had America's back. When that happened, it was chaos, bro. Listen to the OG. When 9/11 hit, bro, and all the people got killed. Imagine this, bro. If you or your family member is way on the 45th floor of that building and a big plane hits the building, you know your life is out of there. So what do you want to do? Do you want to get collapsed in all the brick of the building? Or do you want to just go in your life and jump out of the window? Bro, they had people jumping out of the window in 9/11, bro. They had people jumping out of those buildings because they knew I don't want to die being crushed up in no concrete. I would rather jump out of the window and go 40-something floors down, knowing that it's over. Think about that for a second. Yeah, I'm very sensitive to this, guys. Very sensitive. That's why it's very crucial times right now, bro. We are broke. We can't afford to go to war. Iran is not going to make a deal. I said it. They are not going to make a deal because their number one goal is to off America. They will kill themselves to kill me or you. So you think they want to make a deal, bro? They gonna go all the way to the end. They gonna go all the way to the end. It's called suicide bombers, bro. But now, with the development of nukes, they ain't gotta do all that no more. God forbid, if they complete that program and the capabilities of those nukes are able to come over here, they know we don't have no Iron Dome, bro. They know that already. America is so lame that after 9/11, they didn't make an Iron Dome. They didn't. Because they don't think outside of the box. They think that, and a lot of people don't think like this because we don't know what it's like for a bomb to come over here. We don't know what it's like. We don't know. We know what it is for an airplane to hit a building, but they can do that now. And what can America do? We don't have no Iron Dome. So it's a lot of things that we got to think about. A lot. My opinion, if little bro say, look, big bro, you already know what the ops feel about y'all, bro. And right now, I'm going on and taking care of my business. All you need to do is come in with the firepower and blow up that building. That's all that needs to be done. But the flip side to that is that, okay, if we knock out that facility that is housing all the nukes, if they take out the facility is underground, guys. They really don't know how deep it is underground, but they know it's at least 300 feet underground. Now, the thing is, they got the bombs that's capable of penetrating through that ground, but they're gonna have to use more than one. But the backlash is this. There are a lot of military bases right there right there where Iran and those places. There are the U.S. military bases are closer to closer to Iran than actually Israel is. So military bases are really, really close to Iran. The thing is this, if they hit that military facility, guess what's going to happen? Iran is going to retaliate, bro. And once Iran retaliate, America gonna have to come in and go to war. That's the big thing right now. But Iran knows, see, when you know what position that your enemy is in, Iran ain't even tripping. If you hit this facility, all hell gonna break loose. They know America is broke, bro. And we cannot afford to go to no war, especially put boots on the ground, because we already know how that's gonna end. For number one, those people hide in those tunnels. And if we have to put boots on the ground, guess what? We're gonna be out there another 10 to 15 years, bro. And the American financial system can't pay for that. So it's a lot going on right now. It's a big decision that Trump guy has to make. The other flip side, if they don't go on and take out that facility while the skies are open, because of what Iran is kind of crippled because of what Israel has been doing. Israel basically has been the little homies going in and take care of business, so the big homie can come and clear everything out. So the little homies are going in there and taking business. Big homie, now you got to come do your thing, big homie. All the skies are wide open. Do what you got to do, bro, because if you don't do it now, ain't no telling what's going to happen next. That's what they're thinking about right now. Because if Iran is really this close from finishing that nuke program, the flip side of that can be catastrophic. It can be something that we never seen before. We got to think about that on the back end. So we got to understand what we going against. Iran been working on nukes for 40 years. Working on it. So the thing is, what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? What is the cost of our kids and grandkids, bro? One thing I know about America, some might say, well, Stock Sniper, why no other president has went on and knocked out that facility? Because they didn't want to go to war with Iran. So they kick it to the next president. They kick it to the next generation. They kick it to our grandkids and great grandkids and everything else. Same thing my grandpa them said. All they're gonna do is kick it to the next generation. Just like they do this just like they do the American debt. They're gonna kick it down to the next generation. Then they're gonna kick it down to the next generation. And that's why we're in so much debt now. Because they've been kicking all this debt generation to generation to generation to generation. While they build generational wealth for their families. See, the thing is this. Those politicians, they have bunkers for them. And if you notice, if you check out Iran, Israel, all those countries over there, guess what? They got bombed. They not only have an Iron Dome, they got those underground bunkers, right? So when they say y'all evacuate, majority of those citizens are going to underground bunkers. Now I don't know about you, but I know where I'm at. There's no underground bunkers, bro. Ain't no underground bunkers. Why? Because America ain't seen no bomb come over here, bro. And they didn't prepare for it. After 9/11, they should have prepared just in case they do get a nuclear weapon over here and bomb this country. They say, well, okay, we got a big nuclear plant in Texas. We're going to bomb Exxon. We're going to bomb these chemical refineries. We got to think about that kind of stuff, bro. See, back in the early 2000s, when the war of terror, the war on the terrorists, they ain't went nowhere, bro. They still amongst us right now. Why? They really here now. Why? Because they open up the borders, bro. While we sitting around worrying about while we sitting there worrying about the illegals, the real illegals that nobody is talking about are the terrorists. Al-Qaeda. The real terrorists that are over here right now, just like the people from Venezuela and El Salvador and all these other countries that's coming over here illegal. Guess who also came over here illegal? Taliban, Al-Qaeda, and I can't remember the name of the other one.
Jihad.
Yeah, the jihadists. They came over here too. And they on a whole nother level. They will bomb themselves up. They just waiting on the green light. It's a fact. Jason Cook, they're just waiting on the green light, bro. That's it. Don't think for 1 second that they don't have Al-Qaeda and all these different terrorist groups already over here, bro. Suicide bombers. All they gonna say is they doing it for Allah. Because in their mind, they think that they gonna go meet 100 virgins in heaven. Yeah, I'm going in. This some 1990s type thing right now. So we got to pay attention to what's going on, bro. Donald Trump has a big job ahead of him. ICE and the illegals is the last thing on his mind right now. Trust me. Because all they want to do is come over here and work. But them people that I just got through naming, those terrorist groups, they want to come over here and work, but they want to come over here and put in work that's going to make them meet Allah. Suicide bombers, where they got bombs and they go in front of a whole group and kill themselves to kill as many as Americans as they can. I remember those days, bro. I remember. That's crazy work. That's crazy work. So we up against a lot right now. I hope, boy, President Trump got a big move right now. What exactly he gonna do? What exactly he gonna do? Because Donald Trump been saying way since the 90s, since I've been hearing about Iran and death to America. Donald Trump been saying since I was a teenager that we can't let Iran develop no nukes. My guess is bunker bomb this weekend. Man, that's what a lot of people saying. Jason Cook. I pretty much know. Because one thing about Donald Trump, ever since the 80s and the 90s, he's been saying the same exact thing. And I pretty much believe Donald Trump gonna pull that trigger, bro. The thing is, what's next? Only way to get that deep. Yeah, that's the only way. It's crucial. Me personally, because I've been hearing about death to America all these years and about, well, decades, and I've been hearing about not the people of Iran, but the government of Iran is trying to do this. But yeah, no nukes for Iran, right? So in my opinion, this is what I think. I think he got to go on and take them out, bro. Because if we already know they've been screaming death to America since the 70s, right? And they've been on the back seat getting this nuke program together. And if they this close, we can't let the same thing that happened with Osama bin Laden, we can't let it happen again, bro. Because this time it's gonna be 100 times worse than what Osama bin Laden did to them Twin Towers. We let Osama bin Laden go, and it cost us. We can't let it happen again, bro. We can't. We got to go on and take out that facility, and whatever comes, comes. That's my opinion. That's what I think. We can't keep passing, you know, to the next president, to the next decade, to the next decade. Then all of a sudden, Iran do something real, real crazy that they've been telling us for 40 years. Yeah, they got to take them out, bro. We can't afford to let Iran finish that nuclear program, bro. And they already been threatening us for 40 years. So if they that close, it's time to take them out, Trump. I'm with you. I'm with you, bro. We just have to buckle down, bro. That's all it is to it. Because I would rather, last thing we want is a nuclear weapon that's going to hit America. That's going to hit American soil. That's the last thing we want, bro. That's the last thing we want. So we just going to have to buckle down. If the soldiers got to go to war, they just got to go to war. Instead of, either way it go, they're going to have to go to war anyway. Because if they hit American soil with a nuke, they're going to have to go to war anyway, sooner or later. Just like with Afghanistan. Same thing. We got the game, we got Indiana 48, OKC 35. Let's go, Indiana. We want to tie this game up, bro. I want to see a game 7 on the game. I want to see a game 7. So yeah, man, in my opinion, all this other stuff is a real distraction. But what's going on with Iran and Israel is really, and everybody's watching right now. What's really gonna happen? What's really gonna happen? But if they hit that facility and destroy the facility, and nothing else happens after that, Donald Trump gonna look like a hero. Donald Trump gonna look like a hero. If they destroy that nuclear facility, specifically, and get rid of that old man, that Halabai, he gotta go. Halabai gotta go. That 86-year-old man, yeah, he gotta go. Because see, Donald Trump had already got rid of the other guy. On Donald Trump's last presidency, he got rid of the other guy. But this guy here has the same mindset of the other guy that Donald Trump took out his last presidency. See, this been going on, guys. This ain't just started. Israel has a great start, but can't finish it alone. Correct. That's right. They can't finish it alone. They don't have the capabilities to penetrate that facility that's that deep. They don't have the capabilities to do it. So they need Big Bro to finish it. See, what a lot of people don't realize is that Donald Trump had already took out, I can't remember the guy's name, the head guy. Huh?
Baghdadi.
Who?
Baghdadi.
Can't remember his name. But Donald Trump, his last presidency, he took out the #1 guy in Iran back in, I think it was 2018. So this guy here, Halabar, took his place. But it really didn't do anything, right? Because all Halabar did was take the other guy's position. They still think alike. So he really didn't do anything. So this time, we got to destroy, while the skies are open, they need to go on and get rid of that facility. Knock it out. And also take care of Halabar. Got to get him out too. Because Halabar is not going to surrender. He's not. They don't work, they don't operate like that. But Donald Trump knows that they don't operate like that. They're not going to give up. They're not going to surrender. He's not going to give up that nuclear facility. He's not going to do that. But Donald Trump is doing it the right way. He really don't want to do it, right? So he's going to do it the right way, which is, I'm giving you all the chances in the world to give up that facility, bro. I'm giving you all the chances that I can give you. That way, when it go down, you can't say I didn't give you no chance. I gave you 60 days to negotiate. They straight up told Trump, oh, now, I'm not giving up my nukes, bro. I'm not doing it. 61 days passed. Now we passed the 61 days. Now we up on 70 days. So if Trump give him another week or two, which he might do, it's too long. It's too long. It's time to take care of business, Trump. Go and take care of business. But the people that don't really, since a lot of people that don't really know the history of it. So I think that's another thing that's going on. He giving the opportunity for the regular Americans to really understand what's really been going on, to really understand how serious this death to America from the high level government of Iran has been for 40 years, bro. So I think that's another thing that's going on. Letting everybody get educated, because a lot of people don't know about the history of Iran and the history of their government as far as towards to America. A lot of people don't know that Iran killed a whole lot of Americans, bro. A whole lot of American soldiers, a lot. A lot of people don't know that. You know, especially this new generation of people from the 1999s to the 2000s. If they ain't really been paying attention, they really don't know about the history of Iran, bro. A lot of them was really babies when the suicide bombers was really in America. A lot of them really don't understand the significance of those terrorists. They don't understand the significance of these sleeper cells that are in America right now. They don't really understand that. And they thing goes from generation to generation to generation to generation. So right now, as an example, my grandpa and grandma, well, my grandmother and my dad used to talk about what I'm talking about right now. My mama used to talk about what I'm talking about right now. The older people that I know used to talk about it. So it came down to me. Now I got kids. I got grandkids. So guess what? Those terrorist guys, they are 4 or 5 generations in, bro. They got kids and grandkids and great grandkids and great grandkids that has been brainwashed and been raised with the same type of mindset of what I'm talking about right now. Death to America. You think Osama bin Laden ain't got no kids running around, bro? You think Hezbollah, those other terrorist name leaders that have been eliminated by America, you think they don't have kids, grandkids, great grandkids, and great grandkids that are being trained in the terrorist groups as we speak? We got to think about that. We got to think about it. They do. Listen to the OG. I'm telling you right now, they raised their kids, bro, specifically to get ready to go to war with America, bro. If they got to do a suicide mission, that's what they... See, people got to understand these people that we dealing with, bro. They raise their kids, their brothers, their nieces and nephews, cousins. They raise them a certain type of way. All in the name of Allah. That's how they are raised. They not raised to go to work, make money. Their only mission is to learn the Bible, which is the Holy Quran, and they spin it to what they believe it to be. In their mind, they are raised to think that America is the devil, bro. I said it. They are raised. When they start studying the Holy Quran, we are the devil. We are the devil. Straight up. So guess what? Donald Trump got to make a move, bro. He got to make a move. He got to make a move. He got to make a move. It's halftime right now. It looks like it's a blowout as of right now. 44, 50, yeah. The Pacers are up by 22 points. They got to keep it like this because I want to see a game 7. And plus, I want my parlay to hit. Yeah, I want my parlay to hit. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I took it on the underdog. I took it on Indiana. Yeah, I took it on Indiana, guys. How y'all doing, man? I appreciate y'all for joining me. You know, how y'all doing? I'm not trying to scare nobody. You know, I'm just trying to tell you and educate, you know, on what's really going on. Because, you know, I'm 50 and I've lived through all of this, right? And my upline, which is my parents and grandparents, lived through it too. You know, so, and we haven't been discussing Iran in a very long time, bro. So in other words, Iran been sitting back in the cut, working on the things that they know, like, and trust. They've been working on the things that they love, which are bombs and nukes. They've been working on that all this time. Since before 9/11, bro. And then some people believe that Obama them gave and Biden, some people believe that they gave Iran $30 billion. That's how Halabah, that terrorist group in Gaza, was able to get funded. See, it's a lot going on, bro. A lot of people believe that Iran funded that terrorist group that's in Gaza, and then Iran got the money from Biden and Obama. That's what a lot of people think. Gave them the money thinking that they were going to not continue the nukes. Look, we're gonna look out for y'all. You know, in other words, they tried to trust the enemy. And Iran took the money and ran off. It did what? Gave a whole lot of money to those terrorists in Gaza to pull that terrorist attack on Israel. Ain't that the name of that terrorist group in Gaza?
Hamas.
Hamas, right. Hamas. So Hamas was funded by Iran. Iran took the money from America and ran off on the plug. That's what happened, bro. And America, what they did was gave Iran the money thinking that they was going to eliminate that nuke program, and they didn't do it. They ran off with the plug. They ran off with the money. Spot on. I was thinking that's what I was thinking. I had to refresh my memory. I'm thinking, yeah, appreciate you, Jason. Yeah. A lot of people don't know that, bro. A lot of people don't know that. But yeah, they ran off on the plug. So only thing that got me thinking is that the golden rule, the art of war, is that you're never supposed to go to war broke, right? That's the only thing, is that we already, those 2 pallets of cash on that cargo plane. Yep. So, and you know what they did with that money? They did 2 things. They loaded up Hamas, and they took the rest of that money and they invested it into crypto. That's what they did. Now, they larger than life, bro. And they took some of the other money and upgraded their facility to keep going on with the program. And they took the other percentage of the money and invested it into crypto. That's what they did. There's pictures. Wow, I ain't never seen the pictures, but I believe you. Because that's what they were saying, what was happening. That America, Obama and Biden gave them all that money. They built that nuclear bunker with it. Oh, okay. So they invested in their defense. They broke off Hamas, and then the other percentage of the money, they put it in crypto. They bought them some more Bitcoin. That's what they did. Or some other type of crypto. They built, yeah. So, man, yeah, man. Donald Trump, you know, I pretty much believe he gonna do it. As he should. Because there ain't no telling what's going on. I just hope that the mission is completed. Because once that happens, it's going to really cripple what they got going on, which was 30K at the time. So they tripled that money as well. There you go. That's what happened. Yep. And you're absolutely correct. Bitcoin was right around 30,000 at that time, and now it's up over 100. And so they ready to rock and roll for real. Yep. So I'm ending right here, guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. It's a lot going on. So the people, if y'all don't really know what's going on, what Jason Cook said right here was spot on point. You know, I remember a lot of it, but I also forgot too. But the majority of all I was saying is the truth. So you got to educate yourself. Go back. Go on the internet. Do some research, and you'll find out what was going on. So I love and I appreciate y'all. To the next one. Y'all have a great night. I'm out.